Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week that we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I am your humble host, Eric. How y'all doing? Good. Let's get to the news. First off, I'd just like to say that the funniest thing to me is every time I hear that delightful song by Paul McCartney, Wonderful Christmas Time, just remember that is about friends practicing witchcraft when someone walks in and they have to suddenly play it cool. I'll just let you know that, spirits up here tonight. That's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. It really does. It improves the song. Okay, on to the news. Big week in the news. Unbelievable. You know how I'm always talking about on stage, how when a lot of the radicals in DC start trying to do something, we always get the opposite? Well, abortion pills are now legalized to be sent through the mail. That's right. The day after pill, abortion pills sent through the mail. I keep hearing Oprah in my head going, you get an abortion and you get an abortion and you get an abortion. Everybody. It's a good time. And couldn't happen at a better time. A friend of the show, Doug Henwood, has posted an interesting thing from Pew that now 3 in 10 U.S. adults are now religiously unaffiliated. So that is actually one of the largest growing groups, and Christianity has now dropped self-declared Christians from 75% a decade ago to just 63% of the population. So who knows?
There's a really good book about this that I read.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a title?
I'll have to look it up real quick. It's on my Audible.
Awesome. All right.
This is good news. This is good news for Christianity. We didn't want them anyway.
Dude, I keep waiting to weed out the bad apples or whatever. So yeah, so
wait for the boomers to die.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I've been waiting on the
Strange Rites here. It's called Strange Rites: New Religions for a Godless World. Highly recommend.
Okay. All right.
Andrew, let's talk about that later. I want to read it.
Yeah, excellent book.
Sweet. All right, moving on. More news. The Biden administration has announced a plan to replace 100% of the lead pipes in U.S. homes. That is truly incredible to even announce that. I mean, Flint, Michigan's water has been poisoned with lead since 2014, and that's just the ones that we know about. There's thousands of other places where there's way too much lead in the water, and I would definitely like to talk about that a bit more later on. But got to get on to the rest of the news so we can get to the funny stuff. So, hey, other good news. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren posts that the Sacklers, who made billions addicting Americans to deadly opioids and then declared bankruptcy and headed off to the Cayman Islands to get a tan with their $60 billion in blood money. Yeah, well, the judge has overturned Purdue Pharma's opioid settlement. So it ain't done, folks. It ain't done. We might be able to actually make some billionaires pay for their crimes, and that's ecstatic to me. In related news, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, tweeted this week that when a handful of us in the House warned that this would happen if Democratic leaders gave Manchin everything he wanted in the first first by moving the BIF, the new Better Infrastructure Plan, before the Build Back Better, instead of passing them together, people ridiculed the progressives. Maybe they'll believe us next time, or maybe people will just keep calling us naive. Now, it's interesting because if you look in the mainstream media, it's very interesting because they keep using the word punt. They keep saying that the Build Back Better plan has been punted into 2022. But, the Senate declared recess yesterday, so they've all gone home and they're done for 2021. And Manchin went on Fox News and he said he just can't vote for it. So even though the mainstream media is liking to pretend that this is Schrödinger's legislation and it's both alive and dead at the same time, Manchin peeked in the box. It's dead. All right. Ohio police ask for help finding thieves who stole an entire bridge.
What? That's awesome.
Akron, Ohio, hunting brazen thieves who have stolen an entire 58-foot long bridge. And they did it in 2 shots. They came and stole all the planking, and then they came back the next day and stole the rest of the bridge. And police are baffled as to why anyone would want to steal an entire bridge. and what they would do with it. I'm just picturing Pinky in the Brain, you know what I mean? Like it's all part of a sinister plan. First we steal the bridge.
Fucking stay out of our business, goddamn pigs. You don't know because it's not for you.
Absolute insanity here. Couple more interesting things that happened this week. Truth Out posted a Republican member of the January 6th committee said that the commission may seek to subpoena or criminally charge former President Donald Trump. That just came out. And all I can say is stop teasing me. You've been teasing me, and I'm over it. Just do it already. Jacobin magazine, friend of the show, Jacobin magazine, says Democrats are going beyond refusing to give Americans an affirmative reason to vote for them in sabotaging their own purported agenda around Biden's Build Back Better bill. They seem to be trying to lose to the authoritarians in the GOP that they claim to oppose. And I got to say, I detect no lies. I don't truly understand. I've been hearing for years that all we needed to do is let them have control of the Senate, and then we got control of the Senate, and then they had control of the House. We got control of the House. Then they just needed the control of the White House, and everything would be fine. Now they've got all three, and they're like, oh, well, we just can't. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, well, if you don't do anything you promised, then you can let the other guys get in there. And then you can just go back to your old excuses again. And as far as I can tell, that's what they're trying to do. But I also wanted to point out, do look at this image of Biden. All right. Got that? You got that in your head now? Am I wrong? I mean, seriously, am I wrong? It is definitely. And for those of you listening to the podcast, it's Dunham's ventriloquist dummy, Walter. But holy crap, look at it. Huh?
Pretty similar.
Unbelievable. All right, and last but not least, I normally close with an animal story, but I got one of those memories this week, and I just was stunned by this. But do you remember that years ago, I used to throw Christmas parties? That's right, 2016, Mo, wearing my Santa hat from my house, said, hey, we're at your house. You see her there on the couch with a friend of the show, other Andrew comedian, and Jordan. And I had to run out for last minute supplies, so I just left the door open, and they texted me from in my house. And that's the first time I've ever started a party without me. So, but
nice.
5 years ago, looking forward to the end of the pandemic and things getting together, because guys, I really want to have a Christmas party with you all. And that is the news for Monday, December 20th, 2021, the Christmas episode. Handed it off to my beautiful co-hosts on Facebook for the Blind, Michael Labune, and coming up next, Andrew Shanklin with funny stuff.
So the first picture I'm going to share, I think this will be like picture of the year. One thing we didn't talk about in the news was the devastating tornado that went through Kentucky. I had actually friends who were impacted by this in Nashville, but it was nothing like it was before in Nashville. But if you look closely at this picture, the first thing that catches your eye for our listeners is just devastated. I mean, it looks like World War II.
Oh my God.
Just devastated buildings. And you're looking through what, I don't know, at first you're not really sure what you're looking through. It looks like a painting. And then as you kind of scan the room a little bit better, what you're seeing is a movie theater. And where the screen used to be, the tornado took that part of the wall away. It must be reinforced differently where the screen's not. And what you see through it is what's on the other side of the theater. And it's these buildings that are absolutely just destroyed. This I don't know where this photo was taken. I can't give it credit, but I don't need to. You're going to see this photo again and again and again. I think this will be like one of the photos of the year.
Kentucky, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the thing that's so interesting about it is it sort of gives you this feeling that the facade has been ripped away, and we're looking at the world for what it really is. You know, It's a really interesting photo. Okay, now this is a picture of a black man. He is sitting wearing an animal print shirt, unbuttoned like my shirt was last week. He's wearing jorts, and it looks like ankle-high boots. Is that like some sort of a claw middle finger on the side of his boot? And he's wearing a bandana and yellow glasses. and he's sitting next to some looks like beach kind of grass, and it says, "I literally have no idea what's going on in my life. I'm just in charge of the outfit." It does feel that way sometimes. Tristan at T_risk says, "Accidentally cut a guy off switching lanes, and when he went around me, he gave me a thumbs down instead of the finger. I don't know why, but it hurt more." And I I think this might be actually about me. I've been giving people thumbs down for 5 years. Okay. And this was in 2017. And I've driven all over this country. I think I might have been the guy who gave him the thumbs down. I really think it's possible. So good. I'm glad it hurt more. I'm disappointed in you. You drive badly. Andy Slavitt, who, if you're not following Andy Slavitt, you absolutely must. It's at A Slavitt, Slavitt. He gives you the best information on COVID, and he was actually in charge of Biden's initial response to COVID when Biden took over. He says, "Hey, Mark, let's make sure all the votes are counted and we protect our functioning democracy," said not a single fucking text to Mark Meadows.
Oh.
And he doesn't usually weigh in on politics like this, but he got fucking pissed.
I should note, for the time milestones that the PowerPoint came out this week, and the texts from January 6th and the PowerPoint. Crazy.
Right. Yeah, a lot of news dropped this week. And the organizer of the rally, the Stop the Vote fucking rally or whatever, he turned over all of his direct communications with Republican lawmakers. And he was the one who was in charge of starting the rally. And he evidently was in touch with Congress people leading up to January 6th. So next couple of weeks are going to be pretty big. This is a still from VeggieTales with Larry the Cucumber and Bob the Tomato. But behind them is Paulie from The Sopranos, who looks a little pissed off, and he's raising his right hand. And he says, "Hey, Tone, ain't no fucking way these veggies have accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and fucking Savior."
Wait. This is a funny thing about VeggieTales. Did you know canonically, they don't have souls, so they're damned to hell, and they're just telling you the stories because they want to save you from eternal damnation.
I did not know that. But I'm learning more about VeggieTales every week on this show. I'll tell you that.
By the way, I got a guy over there.
I
got a guy on that show. So if you ever need inside info, let me know.
Oh, I love it.
Good. This is a picture of the England-Scottish border, and it says "Welcome to Scotland" over the Scottish flag. But when you look more closely, you see that the grass is cut on the Scotland side, and there is a hard line. They did not cross the line at all to get over into the English side. And the text says, "Cut your own fucking grass, England." Which is really fucking Scottish. This is a picture of an angry man who's screaming and pointing from at @ZootGhost. And it says, "Got no kids? Hire a babysitter anyway. Say your kid's asleep and not to be disturbed. Then upon your return, ask where your child is." That's just some advice for people with no kids. This is me. This just says, "Tired of being strong. I want to be weak like y'all." And this is my last one for this round. And it's a picture of a black man with an earring, and he looks sad. And you see it's a GoFundMe page. And he just used his own sad face as the picture of it. And the GoFundMe is for surgery for my legs because I can't stand you hoes. And he's raised $45 of his $60,000 goal. Which
what am I doing with my life?
My question is, where the fuck did the $45 come from? Who gave this joker $45? This is definitely an elective surgery. Don't say elective, Eric.
Wow.
Don't say elective.
Right.
Elective?
Damn it.
So this one's pretty wholesome start. Says, "I think Pikachu should be in Mario Kart and his car should look like this." And it's a drawing of a Pikachu driving a Pokeball that has a little headlight.
That's dope.
Yeah, this one, Oh, okay. So it says outside, innocent looking boy, and it's just kind of like an anime boy, and then inside, and then it's just a bunch of hentai stills. This one is this is another Polly Walnuts one where he goes, ain't no fucking way that whole Siberian orchestra is trans.
That's great.
Really funny.
That's brilliant.
This is another Pokemon. This is a Pokemon still, and it's the trainer's talking to a Tentacruel and says, Tentacruel seems interested in your mom. And then it's another hentai still. And then this one is Chet Hanks. He goes, just listen to Morrissey. That shit was ass. There's another really good Chet Hanks video where he's like, do yourself a favor and listen to Kokomo by the Beach Boys right fucking now. And that's also so funny.
Great.
This is it's a picture of a guy who looks kind of Italian, kind of Russian, and he's got his hand around Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z's shoulder, like a drawing of Vegeta. And the caption is, I searched Vegeta's Italian voice actor, and this was on his official website.
Oh my gosh.
This is a cartoon of two pigs and a cat. And he goes, and the bartender goes, 2 slot martinis and 1 garbage whiskey coming right up.
It's like Garfield and a pig.
Yeah, like an insinuating one is great, but I don't know who the pigs are supposed to be. But
Garfield and Friends.
Yeah, maybe Heathcliff. Could also be Heathcliff.
yeah,
I was thinking Heathcliff.
yeah.
I miss Heathcliff. Nobody ever talks about Heathcliff.
This is Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and it just is that they put written. It's a picture of them on a plane. And it says written and directed by Quentin Tarantino in the like Pulp Fiction font.
I think you managed to overlook the most important parts of that picture, Andrew.
Oh yeah, well she's giving him a foot rub.
That's not all
And
his foot is rubbing.
all the way out. Her boobs are all the way out. Yeah. Yeah. This is a really, really upsetting picture.
This one is it's the cover of, I forget which Smashing Pumpkins album this is, but it says the Smashing Pumpkins are so cool. I wish bald people were real.
We got Siamese
This
dream.
is Infinite Sadness. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, infinite sadness.
This is just a tad. I don't know where I found this, but it's oh boy, it's the characters from Gumby driving a car that has an American flag on it, but Gumby is JFK and is being shot or has been shot, and then there's Snoopy as Joe Cool on the grassy knoll leaning against a tree. So, but this is permanently on somebody's body.
We
I didn't realize it was a tattoo.
I love how you glossed over the fact that Pokey is Jackie O.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like another crucial detail.
Oh man.
This is an orangutan that has a fedora and a gun like photoshopped on it, and it says, if you're gonna fight like there's one chair left in musical chairs, and brother, the music is about to stop. I don't even know how to describe these, but this is like my favorite genre of like post on the internet. Oh, okay, I'll stop on this one. This is a VeggieTales one where it's Larry the Cucumber wearing pants. He says, "I who shit myself," and it's like all deep fried.
Who shit myself?
That's awesome.
Dude, why are VeggieTales all over the internet all of a sudden?
There's a Twitter account that's like VeggieTales Facts. That's pretty. Unless I think it might have gotten banned.
Wow. I'm stunned. Okay, wow. I don't even know what to say. You've blown me away. Hey, I forgot. I wanted to squeeze in some more good news because y'all tell me my news is too negative. So, hey, something to look forward to in 2022. In 2019, our governor here in Illinois signed into law that the Illinois minimum wage has to rise to $15 an hour. That's the minimum wage, but $9 an hour for tipped workers in 2025. And I will never stop saying that in 1990, when I was waiting tables, the tipped minimum wage was $2.13. And you know what it is right now? $2.13. 31 years later.
Yeah, this is huge. This is huge.
And everybody doesn't know that.
Yeah, this is a big deal for the service industry in Illinois. When I was in Illinois, I made the most money I'd ever made bartending because the guy who owned the restaurant was awesome. He paid me $10 an hour plus tip out. And that's unheard of. But this would make $10 an hour pretty normal for a bartender. Like, that's great.
That's awesome. Anyway, so it's pretty amazing. So January 1st, 2022, state's minimum wage going to increase to $12 an hour. It doesn't go all the way up to 15 until 2025, but $12 an hour will be the minimum wage in Illinois, which has got to be one of the highest out there. So something to look forward to in 2022, which is really good because before this, the only thing that I knew about 2022 was, you youngsters might not know this, but Soylent Green with Charlton Heston, the movie poster that we're looking at here, the headline is "It's the Year 2022," and this was on in reruns quite a bit when I was a kid. And you can see the riot control people movers, as they called them. The big I don't know what you call it, just scoopers, scooping people up and throwing them into dump trucks. Look at them, there's 3 of them there because that's how overpopulated. Soylent Green 2022. So there you go. Also, we have a message here from Deadpool posted by Workers' Party of Massachusetts. You're not following the Workers' Party of Massachusetts, you're missing out because they are killing it. We got Deadpool saying, remember, kids, minimum wage means minimum effort. Always act your wage. Yeah. So I've been acting $2.13 for a while, people. Anyway. Now it's interesting too. We always have to slip in quite a few Jesus jokes, mostly to try and annoy Michael. It never works, but we always try. And, a lot of people talk about Jesus transforming water into wine is like one of the greatest transformations ever. But actor Rainn Wilson reminds us that the metamorphosis of Jesus Christ from a humble servant of abject poverty to a symbol that stands for gun rights, prosperity theology, anti-science, limited government that neglects the destitute, and fierce nationalism is truly the strangest transformation in human history. So I just wanted to get that aspect of transmogrification out there. We do call this the wholesome round. So here's a picture of 3 snowmen. One of them has his little branch arms up in the air. His mouth is quite wide. His eyebrows are high, and he is screaming in the middle of a snowstorm, "There are body parts falling down on us everywhere. It's the apocalypse." Which is so wholesome. And as you guys know, in the news, I try to close out with an animal story, and I forgot, but this is as good a place as any to put this in here because it is the wholesome section. Headline in The Bite: Tesla spotted cruising down the highway with a dog in the driver's seat. And I'm just going to go ahead and play it for you because, folks.
Last time we showed you that eye-popping video of a dog behind the wheel of a Tesla. Many people can't believe it's for real. Now the guy who shot
I don't even know what to say except that that's a car on the highway with a dog hanging out the driver's side of the window.
This is crazy. There's nobody in there. Is this legal?
So
yesterday we showed you video of a shaggy-haired dog behind the wheel of a Tesla.
There's nobody in there, man.
I saw the dog stick its head out of the driver's window.
There we go. Anyway, it's got to be a hoax. There's got to be a guy under the seat hanging onto the steering wheel because apparently the autos don't work if your hands are off the wheel for more than 45 seconds. They shut down. They actually roll to a stop. But still, you've never in your life seen a dog behind the wheel. that was great. I really like it. I mean, Airbud, maybe something like that. And finally, gonna close out with this one. Friend of the show, Lex, has posted this one, and I absolutely love it. Lex posts, "Stop normalizing behavior. If you do things, fuck you." Friend of the show, Sage awesome. Says, "That's fair." She has a point.
All right. So this round is going to end with the most offensive thing I've ever heard Lil Nas X say. I want to point this out. Lil Nas X has never offended me until now. So at Jolly Somali says, why the fuck arugula got that much motherfucking twang to it? I don't know why this struck me so funny. All right. At Shen_the_bird, Shen the Bird says, one of the wildest parts about the Grinch is that he just had his whole ass out. And I brought back this picture from last week for anybody who doesn't know the Grinch, which was Milk in His Bag. At Milk in His Bag said, wait a damn minute. And it's a picture of the Grinch who has a big ass sticking out the bottom of his jacket. All right, Trash Can Paul, of course. He has a TikTok from at G33 Gabriel. And it says, another beautiful day without using sin, cost, or tan. It's just a guy holding it, taking a selfie.
Oh, from the calculator. Sin, cost.
Is he holding the calculator?
No, but that's sin, cost, and tan. Those are
Sine, cosine, tangent.
Oh, I didn't know you guys needed a minute. Okay, this is this is a picture.
How do you not know that? Do you even know me?
Of SpongeBob. And what's this squirrel's name?
Sandy Cheeks.
Thank you, Andrew. I knew you would know.
And what's her ass look like?
And in this particular picture, she is very pregnant, and she's walking with SpongeBob, who has like toys with him, and it says "mistakes into miracles."
Wow.
This is one from the Philosopher Shirt. Great one to follow on Instagram. And it's 3 panels. And the first panel shows dinosaurs and then an arrow to oil. So it says, and yet a trace of the true self, dinosaurs into oil. And then the next one is oil into plastic, and it just shows oil turning into plastic. And then the last one is plastic being turned into plastic dinosaurs. And they say, so, and yet a trace of the true self exists in the false self. And I never ever thought about the fact that plastic dinosaurs are made from fucking decomposed dinosaurs. Anyway, another Philosopher Shirt says, me as a child. It's a picture of a Chad guy with a huge brain. And it says, I need to understand everything. And then it says, me now. And it's just a guy's face melting. And he says, I like memes. And he's putting a square peg into a round hole.
Nice.
Ben Schwartz at Ben Schwartz posts an article from the New York Post that says, Eric Clapton sues woman for selling bootleg concert CD on eBay. And Ben Schwartz says, if appropriation is illegal now, I hope the estate of Robert Johnson is hiring a lawyer. Fuck you, Eric Clapton. And now Lil Nas X, who says, COVID really sucks. Last night, I was trying to watch porn. Then I sneezed snot all over my penis. LMAO. Listen.
Wow. That's bad.
I love thinking about Lil Nas X. I do not want to think about Lil Nas X sneezing COVID snot all over his dick. This is too much. This offended me because it fucks with my Lil Nas X fucking aesthetic. I can't. This is the wrong picture. God damn it. That's it.
You can't handle the snot.
I can't. Plus, I don't like that he has COVID. So pray for him.
All right. So this is I did some research while we were going, and this is the VeggieTales Facts Twitter account. This is an in memoriam because it no longer exists. I'll open with that. Joined December 2014. I'll narrate a little. 334,000 followers. Fuck the government. These are the tweets. I yearn for the touch of another man. Disrespect me again, I'll terminate your vice for like John Dealer. That's it. I'm coming for you. Me with a fucking brick. I want to be railed. My which resolution is to lose all domestication and become completely feral. Syria, how do I abandon this mortal vessel? Thor sucks in his feelings. So this is the tweet that got them banned, and it says, I think it would be very funny if all pedophiles and minor attracted persons, and I forget what no maps is, but it's another pedophile thing, all died simultaneously and in agony. And then someone replies and they go, VeggieTales, what if you get suspended? And then VeggieTaleFax responds, I'd rather die standing than live kneeling. And then after that, the account was suspended. And to this day, no one's ever heard from them since. So that's the story of VeggieTaleFax.
Wow.
This is just a picture of Linus and the tree from the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and he's smoking weed. This one is it says, inside every person there are two frogs, and one frog is angry and one frog is sad. And they're both like East Asian art. I don't know. Then Michael's picture of the grin. I had that on here. This is I like SMF animation of Hugh from Jimmy Neutron showing Jimmy Neutron a video, and Jimmy Neutron's crying, but it's also like very hauntingly bad. And it says, me forcing everyone to watch A24 movies with me. This is another Peanuts one, and it's it's wrapping paper that had the Peanuts on it, and it has Linus on top of Peppermint Patty, and then Lucy is covering her eyes, and it does look fairly sexual. And it says, this is why I don't wrap gifts. This is it says, inside you there are two clowns, and one is a horny clown and one is a goth clown. And they're both depressed, and the horny clown is pink and white, and the goth clown is mostly black and red. This is Michael Cera, and I don't know who else it is, but it's like a reaction. I don't know. It's a meme.
Is it Captain America?
I don't know. Michael's saying something, but he's muted.
Yes, Captain America.
Yeah. So then Michael Cera.
This whole time.
So then Michael Cera is labeled open mic host opening with a cum joke, and then Captain America is very distressed and labeled family looking for a wholesome night out.
That's great.
Yeah. This is a crying goth girlfriend, and then a guy dressed as a Roman soldier, and it says, babe, please stop posting about Rome. No one cares. The empire died years ago. And he goes, oh, 2 likes. Oh, this one's a banger. Oh, this is brutal. I don't even know. So this is, I'll come back to this. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Opening up here. This is Center for American Progressives correcting the record with guillotines. And if you're not following them, you are missing out, man. They repost Yucky Tom at Yucky Tom. When you're a kid, the only thing your worst enemy has to do is find a word that rhymes with your name, and you're cooked. One time, my friend's nemesis called him Michael Motorcycle. He was messed up for days. It didn't matter how cool motorcycles are. It rhymed. He was toast. I like that. I remember grade school. All right, next up, my man John Nichols. And I actually have had a couple beers with John Nichols, so I'm not kidding on this. Friend of the show, John Nichols, at Nichols Uprising, I think is his Twitter handle, says he's posted the Time magazine cover Person of the Year with Elon Musk and that particularly bad authoritarian haircut that he's got. And John says, it has not been a great year, but I had no idea it was this bad. Oh my God. This is a picture of it's from Little Shop of Horrors, and that is Rick Moranis standing with the evil plant that is the monster in the movie. And it's captioned, in reality, plants are actually farming us by giving us oxygen daily until we all eventually decompose so they can consume us. I just like that idea. It's that time of year, and I already made the joke about the Paul McCartney song, so now I got to do Baby It's Cold Outside. The woman is singing a 4-panel cartoon, I Really Can't Stay. And he said, but baby, it's cold outside. She's pulling on her jacket saying, I've got to go away. But baby, in the third panel, your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. And she's on the tauntaun saying, then I'll see you in hell. I love this one so much. Yeah. This is an interesting thing. Ro Khanna is always supporting raising the minimum wage, and all these people are saying, "Oh, a hamburger will be $20." So they posted Dick's Burgers in Seattle pays a minimum wage of $19 an hour, gives its workers free health care, 3 weeks paid vacation, a 50% 401k match, and $9,000 for tuition and or child care. So this basic burger costs $1.80. Remember this when somebody says paying a living wage would make burgers cost $20. And I got to ask you right now, tell me you're not craving a bag of dicks. Yeah. Yeah.
I see what you did there. You made it a sex thing.
I did. This next one is a woman being sworn in court. There's a judge sitting behind them. Woman's got her hand on the Bible. And the caption reads, court clerk, do you swear to lady? Oh, it burns. Court clerk, what? I'm just kidding. Hail Satan. Like quite a bit. This next one I think is real, and I think is from my friend. The predictive text that you get on certain things. I'm going to close out with his on Amazon. It's a person typing in CBD, and it just says, hey, Amazon, I was just trying to find CBD calming treats for dogs, okay? And the predictive text is CBD gummies for vaginal dryness, CBD oil for vaginal dryness, CBD lube for vaginal dryness, non-GMO, CBD vaginal wash, CBD gummies for vaginal dryness, 2021, CBD gummies for vaginal dryness, mood. I'm gonna file that one.
Okay, CBD.
I think that's real. I think that happened to my friend Jim. I haven't.
My new nickname.
Jim.
CBD.
Dryness.
So, no, Eric. The joke is I fixed that problem. Fucking sober at fucking_sober says, congrats on being called gifted on your elementary school report card, but you're a 35-year-old recovering alcoholic now. And I just want to say I'm 37, goddammit. This is from Positivo never mind. That's about it. I don't know who this is from, but it's a picture. It's like almost like comic book art, and so just highly stylized. And it's a picture of a girl who looks sad, and she's like I'm colorblind, but I think she's like a gray color. Yeah. And then in the next frame, and she's definitely sad, that's the point. In the next frame, she's being kissed by a boy who's all in, like, he's not any color, he's just like white. His hair, his sweater, everything. And he kisses her on the cheek, and she looks surprised, and where he's kissing her turns red. And in the next picture, she's touching her face, and her face and her shoulders and her hand is all red, and she's smiling. She's so happy. And then in the next picture, she's like hugging herself and touching her face where she was kissed, and she's all red. And then at the very bottom, there's a picture all red, and it's the COVID. It's like COVID-19 under a microscope, and it says Positivo a COVID-19. It's like, this is just so fucked because it fixed her depression, but it gave her COVID. This is a picture of Kirby, who is holding a pointer, and he's pointing to a banner, and it says, I want kiss. And then the next one, he's like, I don't know, more gray, and it says, I want to dead. And then the last one is him carrying a piece of like French bread, and it says, I want to eat this fresh baked bread.
I want kiss.
I don't know what
I want kiss. I want to dead. I want to eat this fresh baked bread.
Yeah, what I liked was I want to dead. I think that was my favorite. Dana Bad at Bad Dana Bad says, at this point, not having COVID is a sign of being an antisocial recluse, and honey, I am one. Ash Dunstan at Ash Dunstan says evangelical churches be like, it's not religious trauma, it's relationship trauma.
That's so funny.
Yeah, this is my favorite joke this week, dude. Like this one, I immediately followed her. Like as soon as I saw this tweet, I was like, "Oh, I'm following you." That's a fucking great joke right there. I should have wrote that joke. God damn it.
So
I'm
funny.
Googling. Wait, go back. Tell me after the show once we stop.
Yeah, I'll just say it again for the listeners. At Ash Dunstan, Ashley Dunstan Undecillion on Twitter. Evangelical churches be like, it's not religious trauma, it's relationship trauma. At John Fugelsang says things Fox News has never cared about until a homeless person burned down their tree. 1, homelessness. 2, trees.
Dude, that's fake tree news.
I know. And it's such a great
fake
point,
tree.
though. Like they don't give a fuck about, anything until it just inconveniences them in the least. Cinnamon Bun, who is at not Sophia Coppola, retweeted this picture that's from a Twitter page called Pictures of the End at neighbors_Wi-Fi. And it's a picture of 2 toilets that are exactly 4 tiles apart in the bathroom. And the 2 toilets are facing each other, and there's toilet paper dispensers on the walls, and there's absolutely nothing to separate them. So if 2 people shit at the same time, they're just like face to face. But I love the Pictures of the End. Like this is it. When this happens, it's the end. Somebody's gonna have to help me with these actors' names, but they're both Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland,
Tom Holland,
and Tobey Maguire. Okay,
yeah.
So Tom Holland is laying down and he's texting. It's 4 panels, and he's texting and he says, "Toby, what's Doc Ock's first name?" And Toby's on the phone, which I guess they're talking on the phone. So Toby's talking on the phone. And he says, "I think it's Mike." And then Tom Holland says, "Mike Ock?" And the final one is just a picture of Tobey Maguire looking really sneaky. He just did something bad because he made him say "my cock." Sarah Lazarus at Sarah C. Lazarus. This is my last. This will be my last meme of the show. Says, well, except for my post with the most. Says, no New Year's resolutions. It is the circumstances' turn to improve, and that's the right take going into New Year's this year. I don't need to change. Fuck this.
All right, I got some. Change. I only have 2, and then I have my post with the most, so this will be fast. This one will require some explanation. So, a guy I went to high school with, I'm on his close friends on Instagram, and we've talked once in the last 2 years. And he posted this tweet, and the caption, "This dude is hilarious, OMG," is the guy from high school. And it's a guy with Down syndrome. And he's taking pictures with his dates, and he goes, "Syndrome might be down, but flex is all the way up." And then he is fire, which is like, okay, like that's kind of pure, I guess. But then the fact that another person is like, "Oh, dude, this is hilarious." This is like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, I really wish, here's what I wish. I wish this joke was being made by the person with Down syndrome. Then I think the joke would be fire.
Very,
but,
yeah, very unclear. This is these are like character, they're seemingly men, maybe, and they have light bulbs where their penises would be, but their heads are light switches. And you can turn them on and off by flicking their noses. And it says, "These light bulbs are from our designer's wonderful ideas and use the sensitive part of the body to make lighting points." And this is just a targeted ad I got, which like I guess makes sense given the things that I screenshot for the show. But
the thing is, though, if it were that, wouldn't it be the butt that would light up?
Yeah. Well, the prostate's there. I don't know. Anyway, those are my 2, and then I have my post with the most. So
nice. All right. Getting back into it. So yeah, it's my thing here. Okay. Gonna do a quick one. We're having a good show here. We're rolling. We're on time. This is crazy. Sorry, I'm all excited. I don't know if it's my shaved nipples or what. So this is just philosophy that I wanted to make sure that I shared with Michael, Workers' Party of Massachusetts, killing it. It is Plato's Cave. And we see a fire on the left-hand side, and we see a man who's holding up a shadow puppet. And then, of course, the people that are chained to the floor who are looking at the shadows on the wall. And the man with the puppet is labeled billionaires, and the person chained there is labeled working class. And the shadow on the wall is lies about socialism. Just, I mean, when I saw it, I laughed. I'm weird. I get it. I'm weird, but I thought it was hilarious. Speaking of another cartoon that made me laugh, maybe, I don't know, probably won't make you laugh. I don't know. But this is a picture of a baby, but it's a cop. He's got a cop hat, and it's labeled the thin blue wine. And the baby's crying and putting its hands up, and it's being offered a bottle of milk that's labeled accountability. Meh. That one.
That's
it's
awesome.
stuck in. That's
Please
Vermin
not that.
Supreme. Yeah, Vermin Supreme, posting the good ones. And you guys know I absolutely love headlines, duh. But my favorite thing, of course, are just headlines that are funny. And this is Vice.com posting important. Why do so many men only have one sad pillow? And why is it that pillow always flat, yellow, and approximately 100 years old? And we're looking at a photograph of, I just want to make sure, I think this might be a friend of the show's room.
There was a meme, I can't remember if I shared it on the show, but there was one that was like, never let a woman will never understand the bond between a man and his yellow pillow.
Anyway,
All right.
oh my God. Which leads into the next one. Very simple black and white text joke posted by my friend Season. And it just says, me, I think it's time I get my life in order. Morgan Freeman. But she would not get her life in order. In fact, she got drunk that night and fought a raccoon. Oh, God. One of my absolute favorites, and these will be my last three for this segment before we go throw back to Michael for the post with the most. My favorites are if you've seen Elf on a Shelf. We must have done a dozen of on the show. You've seen Elf on a Shelf, but you're ready for something. And I love this one. This one is, you've seen Elf on a Shelf, but have you seen somebody else narrate that? Come on.
Darth Vader on the baked potato.
Vader on a tater. Have you seen Vader on a tater? Now, I think the best format, really, truly, one of the most awesomes ever had to be, you've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Now get ready for
Dolly on the tamale.
Dolly Parton on some tamales. Dolly on tamales. I thought it was great. And my final one, closing it out and throwing it back to Michael. Oh, wait. Oh, go for pet's sake. Yes. Here we go. All right. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Now get ready for societal collapse.
That's my favorite one. All right, my post with the most is I'm kind of bending the rules, so I'm just breaking them entirely. But here's the thing. So I am obsessed with Jersey Shore. I've seen every episode of Jersey Shore. I've seen every episode of Jersey Shore Family Vacation at least 5 times. That's not an exaggeration. I'm obsessed with it. So recently I posted to my story a picture of Mike the Situation, his wife, Vinny, and Pauly D, and Pauly D's girlfriend is there as well. And they're just all like together. I think Mike the Situation got Little Sitch baptized. I think this was his baptism because they're clearly in a church. And somebody I worked with years ago commented on this on my story, and they wrote, "Beautiful family." Yeah, it's an older lady, and I've looked at this picture a million times. Who does she think I am in this? Like, if she thinks this is me, Like, who the fuck am I? I've not been able to get over this week. So I'm telling myself she thinks I'm Vinny, but it might be Pauly D.
So I posted the most as a video.
Ooh.
Let me pull it up.
2-year-old Alexis Gilberte loves her new baby doll, but many grown-ups claim this Fisher-Price doll is doing more than just making baby sounds. They think it's delivering an inappropriate message.
It's not saying cool, it's not saying mama, it's not crying. It's saying something. It's speaking. This doll's not supposed to speak.
Take a listen for yourself.
What does that say to you?
Islam is the light.
Fisher-Price says the doll isn't a religious toy and adds in a statement that, quote, the power of suggestion has a lot to do with it. Our department did extensive tests. It just coos and says, Mama, we will not be pulling the doll. But some parents aren't buying it.
Well, if I'm thinking it, then there's people in Kansas and in Pennsylvania that are thinking the same thing. We're all hearing things.
While the doll can still be found on store shelves, Alexis's grandmom says she's throwing it out and she doesn't care about the $20 she spent to buy it.
She does own one of these, and I don't want her to have it.
Diane Kepley, The Associated Press.
So just to recap, the people in the video, they think the doll is saying Islam is the light.
Wow.
Like taglines on the video are like, it's like the woman's name and then it says bought the doll. It's like her qualification to be talking. And then they're like, Mary Ann's grandma said she doesn't care about the $20 she spent on the baby. She's throwing it out. And then Fisher-Price had to release a press statement and they were like, they're saying the power suggestion has a lot to do with it. It just coos and says, Mama, we are not getting rid of the doll. Ugh, I think about this all the time. It's so funny to me.
Dude, I am down with that power suggestion. My God.
Islam is the light. That a baby was in the doll says that.
You know, and like if I hadn't lived through the satanic panic and backmasking and the devil is writing Queen songs, would I even get that? Would I even be like, yeah, I guess people can hear whatever the frick they want to frickin' hear. Okay, post for the most, rounding out the show. This is again how weird. I'm doing this more just because I'm in awe of how weird this is. I would like to point out that this has got 29 likes and laughs and engagements, 10 comments, 2 shares. I mean, not the world's highest numbers, but pretty freaking strong engagement for this post. This is hang on, let me zoom it back here. Anthony Rock posts, Joe Rogan doesn't have a single thing to say that I couldn't hear from a 14-year-old freshman who just discovered Monster energy drinks and weed.
Was that on? Yeah.
I mean, which is like, okay. But I think what happened, it led into a discussion about Joe Rogan and basically people going, yeah, Joe Rogan's a piece of shit. And then like other people. And I mean, I just think this is the funniest one in the world. I've only listened to a few Rogan podcasts, but what's wrong with the simple questions and answers? The guy asks a lot of yes, no questions. Then he asks for explanations for those answers. It was just like, you know what I mean? I actually have no knowledge of this subject, but why not give him the benefit of the doubt? It's so simple and formulaic, and I just framed the narrative in my head in this way. So there it is. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, this guy's a bootlegger. Oh, I should get him off the screen. We're not gonna edit that out. I don't know what. But yeah, it just became an absolute stupid thing. I didn't think it was that great of a joke. It's an okay joke. Yeah. 14-year-old freshman discovered Monster energy drinks and weed, and it was like, okay, but yeah, it just got way more.
He does. Here's the thing about Joe Rogan, though.
He makes some pretty good points.
He really does suck. Like, he's not funny. I don't get it.
I've never seen his stand-up.
His stand-up is abysmal. It's so bad.
Really?
It's real bad.
Do you know? Because like all I know about it is hearing some comedian in some documentary said that when he met him, he was wearing a leather jacket, and he said when he shook his hand, he could hear the leather just going around all his muscles as he just moved. And I was like, if that's what you're known for as a comedian.
A lot of guys have, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of guys have muscles. Like, he's not even that impressive that way. He's like, I didn't think he was a good host of Fear Factor. I don't know how anybody would be a good host of Fear Factor, but he wasn't it. And then like finally, the part that really fucking blows me away is he wasn't a very good announcer for MMA. Like,
really?
I used to watch it. I was in the Army, dude. I watched that shit religiously. We had parties and shit. Like, he was terrible. He always needed to shut the fuck up. And then he got a podcast, like, where he just never shuts the fuck up. Like, I don't know who these clowns are who listen to this piece of shit.
Oh, but
and if anybody is listening to my show who listens to him, I take everything back.
I mean, it's the most popular podcast in the world. It was the biggest signing deal in the history of podcasts. What was it, like $100 million?
$100 million.
Yeah.
And like every comedian in the world, how many podcasts and interviews with other comedians have you seen where people are just like, so do you ever think Joe is going to be the one? You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but Library of Congress created the very first entry in the catalog for the Library of Congress. That's how we keep track of the world in America, is we catalog it. The very first podcast was Mark Maron.
Yeah.
WTF.
It's an interview with Obama, right? That was the first one.
No, I mean just his series.
Yeah,
like that was the first one that we cataloged it. Well,
Yeah.
I say we, like I'm a congressional librarian. As an American, we all collectively cataloged Mark Maron WTF as the first podcast, you know, in America. And I mean, from Mark Maron to Joe Rogan, that's just anyway. So we should probably wrap up the show and stop the recording. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an episode of Facebook for the Blind for December 20th, 2021. And to everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Oh, it's over. Yule, I don't know, whatever. Everything. Love you all.
Love you, George.
And stop.
Right.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.